Greetings of the day and welcome to Hull and Machinery's training program, Module B, Investigation of Losses. Now this is very important because you are getting the first-hand information from the either chief engineer or master of the vessel. He is trying to tell you, exactly what has gone wrong and what is the problem, etc. Now you have to carry out your investigation because it is a named peril policy and exactly what was near miss incident, what was exactly gone wrong, what is the incidents which is leading to the losses. And also you want to know the cause of loss because the hull and machinery policy is a named peril policy. So what all the perils are covered under the insurance H&M policy are listed in the policy, and that is the reason you would like to know exact what is the reason for the losses. Try to understand this particular module or this particular PowerPoint presentation. It is not for seafarers. It is not for master mariners and chief engineers. They know their job. They are expert. This is definitely not fair, but not for the seafarers. But this is for the insurance industry. This is for the surveyors, those who are practicing as a hull and machinery. This is for the personnel, those who are looking after hull and machinery claim. Maybe the background is MBA, or maybe they are also coming from the shipping world. But my training is basically aimed with the intention of insurance because throughout my lifetime after leaving Indian Navy, I am a hull and machinery surveyor and cargo surveyor. So that is the reason I have specially designed this module, which is on the investigation, how to carry out investigation and how to report it, what are the parameters to be checked. All these things will be discussed in this particular module. Whenever we are surveying the hull and machinery losses, we are always asking for from the owner what is your allegations to cause of loss. Try to understand. He is having full manning force on his vessel, the master mariner, the chief engineer, and various crew on board. They are competent. They are competent to be on board. They have got the certificates issued by Director General of Shipping or equivalent from the overseas market. Now we are asking him that you give the, so it is a customary practice to have a owner's allegation to cause of loss. Now surveyor will check the allegations and he will comment, he will agree or he will be in disagreement with the owner's allegation to cause of loss. And then he has to write down that which perils were operating. So what are the normally he is trying to get from the vessel, that the incidents report. The initially exactly it is a narration that what has gone wrong. Then there is also an investigation report which is prepared as per the requirement of the safety management. So there is an internal the investigation report on these incidents will be carried out by the vessel staff and maybe the superintendent from the office and couple of office people are also involved in that. So you have three documents with you: the vessel's logbook, what they have mentioned in the vessel's logbook. You also take date logbook. You also take engine logbook. You also take the incidents report duly signed by master or jointly signed by along with the chief engineer of the vessel. Having taken that, you also ask for their if there is any investigation report on incidents they have conducted. Then the next question: did you report this matter to DG Shipping for further investigation, considering the seriousness of the loss? So it is customary practice not to report. Now try to understand. There are false claims, there are fraudulent claims. There can be, people will try to jack up the claims that my loss is 1 rupee, they will want to have 100 rupees. So it is customary practice in the insurance market. They never report false claim to Revenue Intelligence Department, CBI or something like that. They just repudiate the claim because you should have sufficient evidence. And then also it is a commercial attitude of the insurance industry that somebody tries to cheat them, they may not accept their business. but then they don't go against him to police. I have not seen in my lifetime that some of the insurance company is reporting the matter to police or informing it to CBI. Also, there are serious matters. If at all you want to report it to CBI, CBI is also not accepting any complaints if it is less than say 3, 4, 5 crore rupees. So there has to be a sufficient quantum involved in the fraudulent claim. Then only they accept it. But it is not customary practice to report this matter to any the mandatory authority for investigation. So marine accident investigation, shortly known as a MAI, this is a complete process of detailed and systematically examination and investigation of marine accidents relating to ships and other marine crafts in order to find out, in order to determine the causes of the accident. There can be different type of marine accidents. There can be collision, fire or explosion of the engine or in the cargo. There could be grounding of the vessel. There is a foundering, and there are various other perils which is related or accidents. So during if something is falling down on the time top at the time of loading and unloading, the shifting of cargo, there are accidents. So there are various reasons. There could be piracy. There is a theft and pilferage. There is a engine damages. There are shaft damages. So there are a number of accidents by which the loss is sustained to the property of the vessel. We are suggesting recommendations to avoid accidents in future. The marine accident investigators have both a national and international professional organizations. Okay, so this can be. You see, there are various organizations, but in India, who is there? It is a DG shipping. So if there is a serious accident which is involving the casualty of human resources, or it is a very serious accident like foundering of a vessel, etc., and then it is the DG shipping will appoint a investigator, and then he will report this matter to the court to fix who is responsible, what is the area of responsibility for the losses and damages. Now, International Maritime Organization requires that all flag states and the registered ships to investigate and report serious marine accidents. The national administration usually assign their professional investigators conduct marine accident investigation by interview, by witness, by collecting evidences, by collecting data and for accident analysis. And this is probable causes, this is to find out probable causes, and finding of the accident are concluded and recommendations are suggested to prevent future occurrence of similar accident in the final accident investigation report for public. So there are voyage data recorder, what is known as a VDR, are also nowadays installed. That is this is something like a black box which is there in the aircraft. You see, on most of the ocean-going vessels, according to the requirement of International Maritime Organization. So VDR have made substantial contribution to the understanding of accident causes, and the improvement of safety recorded data has enabled accident investigators to reconstruct events, to identify precisely what went wrong, and to ensure that effective, rather than convenient, more reliable recommendation can be made to prevent the same things happening again from the correct lessons learned. You see, you try to understand that over a period of time, maybe quay gossip or whatever it is, but then there has to be some element of negligence. Human element is involved in negligence, maybe in the maintenance of vessel, maybe in taking decisions, whatsoever reason. There is an element. I heard the stories. I was not present, neither I was investigating this case. But then at the time of entering harbor, the, the, the vessel is making contact with the shore crane because the vessel was sluggish. She was obeying the command after slight delay time. The master was aware of it, the pilot was not aware of it, The master was very busy, a Greek master. He was very busy in listening commentary of the election results in his country. So he was inattentive when we are entering harbor, you are going alongside. The master was present, he was slightly inattentive. The pilot gave a command little late, and the vessel has obeyed the command little late, and then instead of turning at a particular point, she has turned after some time, but in the process she has touched the crane, and the crane was damaged, collapsed. Jetty was also damaged. So this is, momentarily, whatever it is. Then I also heard that people are, say, I'm going straight. Say, for example, from Mumbai, I'm going towards Cochin side. So it is a straight towards south. So I'm just going south towards straight. There is no alteration in course till that time. I'm very close to Cochin. Maybe after 8 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours, whatever is speed of my vessel. So during watch time, night time, the watchkeeper, he fixes an alarm on his watch, and he's taking a sleep. Maybe 1 hour, half an hour, 20 minutes. But that is not allowed. That is not permitted. But then the vessel is on autopilot. It is going straight. But then somebody come and collision course. Probably that gentleman is also sleeping. These are all the stories what I heard about the accidents. Then on one of the ship I have seen 7, 8 Labradors. And then I came to know from one of the Indian crew on board that night time these Labradors are doing duty. And if they look at the vessel is on autopilot and the watchkeeper is probably sleeping, and these Labradors are doing the watchkeeping duty. When they see any light or something, some movement in the sea outside at a distance, they start barking and they give alarm to the watchkeeper. These may be stories. This may be a true things. But then this is possible. So there are reasons, there are human errors which is leading to accident, and we should know. So we should investigate properly exactly what has gone wrong. So the insurance company is also trying to find out what is the reason for the losses. Because crew negligence is covered, crew incompetence is not covered. Because the moment the crew are incompetent, the vessel becomes unseaworthy. So try to understand that what is covered and what is not covered. Insurance company is also very, very interested, and that is the reason hull and machinery surveyor, maybe cargo surveyor can also practice similar type of investigation in analysis of cargo damages, cargo losses. Reporting to IMO marine safety investigations and marine casualties and incidents are based on the various IMO instruments. So what are the marine? See, basically they are giving guidelines. They are telling international maritime organizations about the investigation. They have made it compulsory for the flag states also. Code of International Standards and Recommended Practices for a Safety Investigation into Marine Casualty or Marine Incidents. So Casualty Investigation Code is the 2008 edition, Resolution MSC 255/84. Paragraph 14.1, Chapter 14 of the Mandatory Part 2. Then there are guidelines to assist investigation in implementation of the Casualty Investigation Code, Resolution MSC 255 in bracket 84, Resolution A 1075 in bracket 28. Now there is the safety of fishermen at sea, the Resolution A 646 in bracket 16, paragraph 3. Reports on casualty statistics concerning fishing vessel and fishermen at sea, MSC Circular 539 oblique add point 2, paragraph 2. A report on fishing vessels and fishermen statistics, paragraph 3 of MSC Circular 753. So there is a provision of preliminary information on serious and very serious casualties by Rescue Coordination Centers, MSC Circular 802, paragraph 3. The guidance of near miss reporting is MSC MEPC .7 oblique Circular 7, paragraph 4, and casualty related matters reports on marine casualties and incidents, Try to understand, even in India, the DG shipping office is manned for 24 hours, and then whatever the casualties are reported, the immediate action is taken, whatever is possible, whatever the help they can render, the DG shipping office is rendering that help. But many serious casualties must be reported to DG shipping for the investigation and maybe to fix the area of responsibility for the losses. So what are the parameters normally we are asking for? As I said, that you take the log entry details, the incidents report, the investigation of incidents from the vessel and the management, and if it say for example collision, the collision has to be reported, and the degree of blame for collision to fix area of responsibility is by court. Crew negligence also. Serious crew negligence, the principle of natural justice has to be followed. You just can't avoid that. So these are the various IMO regulations are there. There are various flag state regulation, IMO regulation. So the marine casualty investigation, it is a serious matter only in order to avoid any future accidents at sea, because these are considered very dangerous. So try to understand the steps of investigation. The step number one is immediate action. So in the event of incidents, immediate action to be taken may include making an area safe, preserving the scene, and notifying relevant parties. The investigation begins uh, even at this early stage by collecting perishable CCTV evidence is also very, very important. What is step number two? Plan the investigation. Planning ensures that the investigation is systematic and complete. What resources will be required? Who will be involved? How long will be the investigation will take? For severe or complex incidents, an investigation uh, basically it should be in team. Actually, one person should not do the investigation of serious losses, and then team will be more effective than a single investigator, because one person, the basically it is better. It is always good to have multiple people, the experts in that particular field when you are investigating. Step number three is data collection. There are a lot of documents and data. So what all that, you can collect the logbook details, you can note down the statements, try to structure the incidents, and then information about incidents is available from numerous sources. Not only people involved or witnesses in the event, but also from equipment, documents, and scene of incidents. So then you have to analyze the data. Whatever data you have collected, you have to analyze the data in order to find out what has gone wrong. Once you analyze the data, then it is a basically you are trying to find out the corrective actions and then reporting. So with human, basically when asking why, we need to identify the root and underlying causes, as well as the direct causes, failures and mistakes. It just don't happen, by themselves. Organizations allow error, enforcing environments, and encourage direct causes to be developed and persist. Such environments and the basic management failings is behind this. These are the root causes and ultimate source of the incident. While human error plays a part of the majority of incidents, people are not generally stupid, lazy, forgetful, or willfully negligent. Human errors occur because of influencing factors associated with the work, the environment, and individual mental or physical abilities. The organizations and the management system, any investigation may sets out and find someone to blame is missing. Try to understand. There was one vessel, she was carrying the naphthalene from Karachi. She came unloaded part at Mundra, and then there was a fire. One of the person, the engine room staff died, trainee or fifth engineer. In the process, of course, I never got, I was not a hull surveyor. I could not get the opportunity for that to discuss with the, what you call, the master chief engineer. But I understand the crews were not paid for 2 or 3 years, 2.5 years. Now you tell me when the crews are not paid for 2.5 years and they are on board just because if they leave they may not get their salary. Uh, well, they are there because otherwise my last 24 months salary, 36 months salary I'll be losing. Now what will be motivational level with them? What will be the mental, uh, uh, you can say the condition of this crew when they are on board, how much they will be taking care of everything because they are not paid at all. Well, it is very difficult to say that payment is one thing and my duty part is other thing. This is very, very easy to say, that payment and duty, this should not be mixed together. But at end of the day, how much, what is the diligence, whether the due diligence has been exercised by the owner of the vessel, the managers of the vessel, the charters of the vessel. This is very, very important. You're not paid. You're not given for the provisions. You're not taking care of the people. The systems are not working. You're not giving the impress money for the purpose of even maintenance. Now, under these all circumstances, the chances of accidents are much more. So whenever the person is going on behalf of, you see, insurance companies telling that certain losses are payable provided the owners have exercised due diligence. The negligence of owner is not covered. The incompetence of master is not covered. The crew is not covered. What is covered? Negligence, yes. But then this is a very thin line demarcation on diligence. Because say engine, the chief engineer is not changing the lubricating oil in time. But if he says that I'm asking for lube oil for replacement or topping up in engine, but I'm not getting lube oil, these are my messages. I have seen one of the vessels which was lost to sea. She was alongside Goa, and then they reported that the vessel is almost sinking. There's a hole and she's taking water. When I went, I said that you are here alongside 3-4 months. Why you are not going for repairing? Then the master has shown me that time they were sort of telegram or some system was there, telex side. He has given me copies of 35 telexes. He is telling owner that please pay the dry dock and then they will take us to dry dock. You see, they were delaying it. They wanted to have claim from the insurance company. And then, of course, the insurance company has not honored the claim. But then there can be the reasons behind the reasons. Now, whenever you are trying to investigate a marine casualty, you have to carry out analysis of failure to find out what is cause of loss. Now, see, basically you try to understand the casualty or a marine damage or loss. It is a trajectory of events. Now, there are various barriers provided to avoid any type of accident. Now, just you have to find out which is the failure in that particular barrier. So, you have to carry out a barrier analysis to find out what has gone wrong, why accident has taken place, what has gone wrong. So you find out, first thing what you're trying to find out, shipboard and shore-based management. What is the shipboard management? Who is the master of the vessel? Who is the chief engineer? What all crew? In one of the, you can say, barge when I was inspecting, it was a seagoing barge. It was a seagoing master was there. The barge was, it was a mini bulk carrier. And then when I was inspecting the mini bulk carrier, I found the master's cabin was having a canvas ring because upper deck, Monkey Island was leaking, and then the water was coming inside, the rainwater was coming inside. There were holes on the superstructure, the pathetic condition. And when that one of the crew member was trying to show me the barge and steering compartment, he told me, Surveyor Saab, ये barge को fail कर देना. ये एकदम खतरनाक barge है. Owners are not taking any interest. So What is the shipboard management? क्या उनको salary मिल रही है या नहीं? Are they getting salary in time? Are they happy? Are they prepared? Or it is only, see, it is like this, a person who stays, I have served on ship. So after some time, we used to get attached uh, with the vessel. Not only with that, with the ship. Not only with that, the frequency of that particular equipment, machinery, engine, and our frequency is getting matched. There is a, you can say that, matching of frequency. We feel, we look at the vessel, we look at the engine when it, uh, by change of slight, vibrations and noise, etc., we understand where is the problem, what are the problem. So what is the shipboard management? Shore-based management. Shore-based management, you try to understand, let us try from the fishing vessel. Fishing vessel crew are coming from Odisha, or maybe some the refugees from Bangladesh, and they are not in Maharashtra nowadays. 99% of the fishing trawlers are manned by people from Odisha. They are not seafarers. What to do for, people have to come to get a job. The shore-based management, it is so illiterate. They don't want to provide any life jackets or the life-saving equipment, because one of the owner of fishing trawler was trying to tell me. I asked him, you don't have lifeboats, life jackets, you don't have any uh, floating device or something like that. He was telling, if I provide, the people will abandon the vessel as early as possible in the risk, and they will not try to save my vessel. If it is not there, then they will not jump in the sea. Look at the attitude. Look at the shore-based management. Third class. Barges. Look at the barges. Various type of vessel. Asset traders. They are not they have the vessel because my main business is different, and for that I required vessel. They are not interested. The management philosophy is different. So you have to find out shore-based management. What is management philosophy? What type of management it is, and then of course shipboard management along with the qualifications, training, etc. A lot of information you do get from this when you are looking into the marine casualty. Many times you will find shipboard management, there are no competent crew on board. A barge which required first class master, considering it is having 550 horsepower engine, will be provided with second class master who is having a ticket from Kolkata MMB with the qualifying remarks on that, only applicable in West Bengal. So this master coming to Gujarat and flying on a vessel, if it is lost to sea, it is considered as an unseaworthy vessel. Ship-based management. Ship-based management is not competent. The driver is not on board. One of the barge driver was not on board, and he told me, the owner of the vessel, that we don't require driver. It is a sand barge. It is very expensive because driver is asking for 25,000 rupees a salary. Now, if this is the management at shore base and ship base, you can imagine the first problem starts from here only. The owner is not exercising due diligence. There is a delay in payment. There is a delay in maintenance of that vessel. Then what is the preconditions and contributing factor? Just before the accident, what was precondition? Was there any cyclonic condition? Was there, what is exactly preconditions and contributing? What is the sequence of events leading to accident? Why accident has taken place? Was there any cyclonic condition? Was she given on charter? What was that exactly? Write it down. Write it down, the preconditions and contributory factors leading to accident. What was exactly unsafe act? Exactly what has happened? What has gone wrong? Exact unsafe act. That during cyclonic condition they were not supposed to venture, This particular barge was only designed to ply when the before scale is 4 and below, but then she was purposely cast off by the owner even with the before scale was 5, 6 and 7. What was exactly unsafe act leading to, you see, barges flat uh, bottom barges. Flat bottom barges are not stable. The flat bottom barges can capsize. The flat bottom barges are not designed for a heavy seas and rough seas, not even for the seas. It's for river navigation, etc. Come up to less than 4 before scale. So the chances of capsizing is more. So exactly what was unsafe act. Then procedural and design defenses. Was there any procedural defense? What is the SOP provided? What are the design defenses provided with the vessel? Is there any design defenses? Is there any self heel correction mechanism is there? What are that? What are the defenses provided to avoid collision, to avoid grounding? What are the navigational equipments provided? What are the SOP? What precautions they are taking? So what are the procedures given on a vessel? What are the standard operating procedure? If the engine lubricating oil fails and the engines are heated, are you supposed to stop engine suddenly? Or start the lubricating system, let the engine every temperature come down and then switch it off? What is standard operating procedures on vessel? It's very important. And then what are the exactly circumstances and unusual conditions leading to accident? So these are the things, exactly what has happened. Finally, what circumstances, under which circumstances? Why? You see, once I say the design defenses, that means per every vessel, they have some design problem. Some vessel will have half a degree list. Some vessel will have sluggish behavior. So some vessel, so you have always some design problem along with the vessel, and then you should understand that, because such design defenses or design problem, what are the defenses to avoid accidents? So you have to write it down that. So you write it about the crew, about the management, about the contributory factors and precondition before accident. What are the unsafe act? What are the procedural and design defenses? What are the circumstances, unusual conditions leading to marine casualty? This is the barrier. Various barriers are provided, and you are going to take a barrier analysis to find out exactly what has gone wrong, why there was an accident. Now start asking questions. Did the person's action or decision directly contribute to either the casualty or the severity of the casualty? The answer either will be yes or no. If it is no, then it is not an unsafe act. But if the answer is yes, that it is person's actions and decision has contributed to casualty, then the next question will be, did the person intend action or a decision? Was it intentionally taken? There could be intentionally taken, there may not be intentionally taken. So if it is not intentionally taken, then the next question will be, was the error of result of momentary inattention? Sometimes you are, when something is going on, you are looking here and there. When you are driving a vehicle, you are looking here and there because there is some procession going on, or there is something going on outside, some band is going on, and your momentarily your attention is somewhere else, or there is an unusual thing which is happening on the road, your attention is towards that. But then otherwise, yes, the answer is yes. Then did the person deliberately ignore the applicable rules, policy or procedure? So there are SOP, standard operating procedures are provided. There are rules and regulations. There are mandatory rules. There are SOPs, and there are governing rules. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of rules for the navigation of the vessel, for the maintenance of the vessel. So the question is, did the person deliberately ignore? He is knowing that purposely, whatever. Then, if he is deliberately ignoring, then he has violated the rules. So it is a violation. If it is no, then the next question is, did the person follow a rule, policy or procedure that was inappropriate for the situation. Many times there could be error in SOPs. That SOP prepared based on other vessels' experience may not be applicable here. So when somebody is trying to follow the standard operating procedures given, and then there is every possibility that being is not a correct procedure, there is an accident. So that accident is a rule-based mistake. He will always defend. The person will say that this is what it is mentioned in the book. I have followed that. It is a rule-based mistake. If it is no, then was the person unable to develop an adequate plan of action for the situation? What to do? Now, what to do when such thing is happening? You see, I'll give you a classic example. Classic example, that oh, it's not a question of knowledge is also there. And then whenever there is an accident, which we feel that yes, now we are very near to accident, the person, the master of the vessel or the chief engineer should be very cool to take decision, because for the safety of vessel, safety of people on board. I have seen when I was in Indian Navy, I came to know that a Seahawk aeroplane took off from catapulted, you can say, catapulted by the Vikrant, and then just see the Vikrant maybe at say 15 or 20 nautical mile speed, it has picked up and dropped in water. Straightway he has gone down. The pilot thought that now if I eject it out, I have ejection seat which will eject me. If I eject it, if I immediately eject, what will happen? The Vikrant is coming with 15 nautical mile speed. It is very difficult for Vikrant to steer port or starboard. And then he was counting the Vikrant, the length is say 750 feet or something like that. So he was counting 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. And then when he felt that yes, of course the captain of the vessel, he has steered either port or starboard side, I don't remember. But then he was also knowing that the pilot of this Seahawk is going to, eject out, and he will bang on the bottom of Vikrant to avoid that. He has also steered sideways in such a way that then the Vikrant will not override the ejection place. So the Vikrant ship has changed the course. The pilot was counting, and when he said that it is now 100 or 150, he thought yes, now Vikrant will be clear. So he ejected, and then to everybody's, they say, oh, yeah, they have seen that pilot is safe. But then, cool. Look at the decision what he has taken. So, what to do when there is an accident going to take place? I don't know. I have never come across. I don't have experience. If you don't have experience and then you make a mistake, it is a knowledge-based mistake. Then what else? Was the error result of momentary inattention? If it is yes, it is a slip. Was the error it is the result of momentarily forgetting what to do or how to perform the activity, it is a lapse. See, sometimes what happens when you are very close to accident, and when you have to take some action, either with a reflex you will take, or sometimes you will become dumb. You are not in position to take any action. You look at it, you don't know what to do, and then it is a lapse on part of it. So you find out. You ask these questions. You ask the question to the crew, the master, the chief engineer, the crew in engine room, all these questions, and try to find out exactly what has gone wrong, which has led to an accident. Now you have to find out the operational area and activity areas used in investigation and reporting procedure. So there are how many operations normally what we find on the vessel? It is a bridge operation, it is a deck operation, it is an engineering operation, and it is a safety and emergency operations. So in a bridge operation, is the losses during changing of watch. Now during changing of watch, our watches are for 4 hours. 8 to 12, 12 to 4, and 4 to 8, and 8 to 12, something like 12 to 4. So at the time of change of watch, what happens? The watchkeeper who is on the watch He is waiting for his reliever, and for last 15 minutes he is at relaxed. He feels that now the next watchkeeper will come and he will take care of. The next watchkeeper thinks that now already my earlier watchkeeper has seen, so that half an hour at the time of change of watch, the waiting for reliever and going there, handing it over thing, that half an hour is little critical a period, and whether you have to find out when accident has taken place. Is it during changing of watch? Was there any visual monitoring and lookout? Was there any lookout provided on the vessel, or it is only, as I said, there was one of the vessel, I find that there were Labradors kept for, monitoring and lookout to see any light or any movement in the sea outside at distance. So who was the visual monitoring and lookout? And once what happened, I was on a replenishment tanker, and then I was just standing on uh, the gangway. We were at anchorage, and not gangway where the pilot ladder is rigged and people go for liberty, and then they go to naval dockyard, and from there. This side boy who was there on the gangway or the table, he said, "Sir, the Taj Mahal hotel is moving." We were just facing Taj Mahal hotel, and Taj Mahal hotel is moving. I realized that my ship is drifting. It is not the Taj Mahal. Our ship was drifting, and I ran. I and then we dropped the another anchor, called full department, and then the drift was arrested. So visual and monitoring lookout, how alert he is, whether he is understanding exactly what is happening. Then for collision avoidance, we should know. You are watching a vessel, whether she is coming on your collision course. You check the bearing with that vessel, and if it is same even after half an hour, even after 1 hour, the bearing is same. So you understand that we are on collision course. So what you do for collision avoidance? You have to alter your course as per standard procedures laid down. You can caution him also, other vessel, that look, we are on collision course, you take the uh, precaution. Then grounding, avoidance and navigation. So are you observing the depth of water when you are flying? Are you in a place where it is a tidal place? It is a tidal channel. So you should know, and what we are doing for avoiding, and what procedures and what equipments are provided on board for avoiding grounding and during navigation. Is there any error in ship handling? A new master, many times I have seen an accident of tug at Goa. So he was telling the master was new, and again, as I said, that he was not acquainted with the vessel's equipment that thoroughly. He made little error, and at that along jetty he has touched with that steps, and the propellers were damaged. Is there miscommunication from the bridge to the forecastle or the quarterdeck? So exactly what is the bridge communication with the engine room? Or is there any problem with the communication system? So exactly when you are doing a bridge operation, what has gone wrong? And then port or anchor watch. Is there any port watch and anchor watch is provided to see that vessel is not drifting, and there are no uh, uh, untoward incidences taking place around you? Then what is the next? This is a bridge operation. Then you have, if it is a deck operation, so vessel stability and integrity management. So have you checked the vessel stability? Now recently you might have heard that a vessel, the name is again a very interesting name, the Marine Trust. Marine Trust vessel, a Bangladesh flag vessel. She was loading containers, and then of course, it is before 13 hours or 14 hours. I do not have the investigation report, but only from the news, what I gather is that there is some problem of the loading of containers. There was a instability because of loading of weight. It was not evenly placed. She started listing, and then uh, the containers, 28 containers initially fell down. and then the almost she is capsized. This is what. So, what is the vessel stability and integrity management? Is there any failure in that? Why there is a capsizing? Okay. What was ZZ? What is the metacentric height, etc. So all level architectural stability calculations you can carry out, and you can see, of course, if somebody is available to discuss the matter. The deck equipment operation. Is there any issue with the deck operation? Is there failure of derrick? Is there any failure of crane? Is there any issue with the winches or something on the deck or davits, etc.? So what has failed? What was deck operation? What was the container and cargo operation? Is the container has fallen now? What is the exactly what has gone wrong? Then what is the bulk cargo operations? Is there any problem with the loading? Is there the chances of liquefaction of the cargo? Was the moisture taken in properly? What was the flow moisture level? Was it checked? And then if it is a petroleum cargo operation, was the safety norms were followed? So actually in deck operation, it is a part, is a cargo operation also. So in petroleum operation also, what are the safety measures, whether you have checked it properly or not? Towing and fleeting operations. During towing also, it is very, sometimes what happens, the tow, if it comes to the 90 degree position to the tow, tug come to the tow, there is a chance of gurting and the tug can be destabilized and capsized. So these are the problems. So exactly you want to find out that what deck operation, where it has failed, what has happened. Is there any problem with the fishing operations? The fishing trawlers, fishing boats, they are totally, I have seen many, they just, during fishing night time, they have a kerosene lantern, everybody is sleeping and they have rigged that disco nets or sort of nets. And then there is a barge which is coming, they can't see the poor lights and they override the fishing trawler. Many accidents of this nature. There could be, what was the deck communication? There could be failure in deck communication. The deck maintenance. I have seen barges, etc. The holes on the deck. What to tell the owner of the vessel? They are asset traders. They are not interested. They don't want to maintain. They want the freight, maximize it. Passenger safety. So what are the equipments, etc. available for the safety of passengers? So exactly what has gone wrong? These are the operations you should be checking. You should be asking questions. You should be asking questions related to the engineering operation. Again, changing of what already we have discussed. Then engineering system operation. Because many nowadays, the modern system, they have all failure announcing system. Hooters, so a lot of systems are there. There will be automatic closure or stoppage or something. The announcing, if there is the more heat, if it is a suspected fire, they will be announcing. So engineering system operations, what has gone wrong? Engineering system inspection and testing. So you should know that it is done properly, the vessels are maintained properly, systems are working properly, instrumentation is in good condition. So if everything is good, what has failed? What has failed? Because there would be watchkeeper, he will be watching the various gauges and meters, etc. Nowadays, even to avoid that from the ergonomical point of it, they have been provided with the announcing system, the hooters, etc. So exactly what has gone wrong. So whether it is a routine, schedule and preventive maintenance. What type of maintenance they are following it? Is there any PPM, preventive, planned preventive maintenance, or it is a breakdown maintenance? If something fails, then only we change. Otherwise, we will not change. But then PPM is always good. Of course, the classification is a part of PPM. Then unscheduled corrective maintenance. That is the unscheduled corrective maintenance is a breakdown maintenance. Either you have planned preventive maintenance or you have a breakdown maintenance. So what type of maintenance you are following it? The inland vessels, they are not class. Inland vessels, they are not in good shape. Inland vessels, they do not have any air conditioning. Inland vessel crew are very less paid. Nobody takes care of them. So these are the conditions of the then engineering communication. If there is any failure with the engineering communication, safety and emergency operation. So what was the general crew safety? What safety equipments and provided, and whether the inspection is in time? Because whether it is a boya, light boya, jackets, or boat, everything is having or the life rafts, they need particular maintenance, in periodic maintenance. Then controlling and fighting fires. Are they trained? The crew should be trained. Of course, crews are trained. But then the equipment should be ordered, it should be refilled. Because what happens that if it is not maintained properly, I open a extinguisher, it doesn't work at all. And then the crew are trained. On any board, the firefighting, every crew is knowing. Confined space risk. Because in entering a confined space, it is a mild steel plating. Whenever there is a oxidization, that is the rusting, in rusting the oxygen is taken by the plates, and then there is a lack of oxygen. It is a, you can say carbon monoxide is there, and then someone enters without proper ventilation, infusing air or oxygen in that, then every chances of accident. The person overboard procedure. When somebody falls down, you know what is the procedure? Whether it is provided or it is not provided. Then abandoning vessel operations. When you want to abandon, there has to be some procedure, not that haphazardly you abandon. So emergency medical and life-saving procedures on board. What all they provided? If somebody is having a cardiac arrest, etc. And of course, emergency communication with the shore, emergency communication with the Coast Guard, emergency communication with the medical team or something like that. So these are the various groups. The problem can be in this type of groups, and you should be knowing the various aspects related to all these groups whenever you are investigating a loss under bridge operation, deck operation, engineering operation, or safety and emergency operation. UK House of Lords, they selected a committee in 1836, 1836. What was the scope of work given to the committee? A review of the causes of ship losses. You review why the ships are lost to sea, and then they are studying everything. 1836, कितना साल हो गया? 1936, and maybe around more than 175 years. So they have concluded that it is a poor level of training and experience among officers and crew in the merchant fleet. The reason for accident is poor level of training. Then the next is poor design of a vessel. The cheapest design. They're trying to compromise in the quality of workmanship, the quality of equipments. I don't want to take the name of that country, but then people say if normally, the valuation of a vessel, if it is built in Japan, or if it is built in communist bloc, or if it is built in Norway, or it is built in Korea, or it is built in America, the value it affects valuation. It is affecting valuation. Why? Because everywhere there is a quality is different. The Indian, every mechanical engineer wants to become MBA and go away in the marketing or finance or somewhere, not in engineering. So you don't get engineers for shop floor. We are compromising there. So naturally, when you don't have good engineers on shop floor, the quality will definitely suffer. People will not agree. They will not say, no, what you are telling is wrong. But definitely it will suffer. Look at the trained engineers trained. Nobody wants to be on shop floor. Why? Because shop floor get less salary. So the hardware people get less salary than the software people. Okay. So poor design. Inadequate equipment. The old equipment, adequate are not equipment, they are not safe, no safety are provided, older type, design is old, incomplete repairs. I have not completed the repairs, but the owner wants to push vessel. He said, no, chalo yaar, come on, let's go. Let us complete it. We'll do it next time. So incomplete repairs. And then of course there was the reason overloading and incorrect loading of the cargo in the vessel. The incorrect loading, see, if I am not checking the moisture, flow moisture level, etc., in a dry bulk consignment, the chances of liquefaction is much more. If I am not taking care for a cargo which is taking spontaneous combustion, there can be a problem. The liquefaction can lead to a stability problem. Of course, overloading is not possible nowadays. But whenever in 1836 and subsequently when there was the Lord Plimsoll, he was a member of parliament, when he suggested that let us have a load line marking on the vessel, so people should not load beyond that marking provided on the ship. The vessel owners, very arrogant. The vessel owners that time told him, we are prepared to accept a load line marking provided it is there on the funnel of the vessel. So look at the arrogance. Same thing is happening in Indian road condition. 99% majority of trucks are overloaded because they don't bother for the law. Okay, so this was the but then overloading was dealt by Lord the member of Parliament uh, Plimsoll. Now the UK Merchant Shipping Act 1876 and Lord Samuel Plimsoll dealt with overloading. There was a rule indicating the Plimsoll mark has come. This is a Plimsoll marking, or it is also load line marking. So it is a marking, you cannot overload beyond that. So the overloading is dealt with the lot of intervention by Samuel Plimsoll. The question is, who will deal with the rest? I was investigating a loss of vessel. The name of vessel was Mayflower. The Mayflower was lost somewhere. She left after Rio de Janeiro, took wooden logs, and somewhere near Italy she was lost to sea. She was abandoned and the crew were rescued and the vessel was derelict, and uh, uh, eventually she was lost to sea. I was discussing with the master of the vessel, a ticket holder from UK, Indian, of course, Indian, ex-Indian Navy. So he was more free when he was discussing with me. So I told him that you have abandoned the vessel, master. After that, abandoning the vessel, the 5 days the vessel was derelict, and you should have grounded the vessel. You are very close to some of the island. Why you are not grounded the vessel? But he told that the the island authority, they said don't come close to island because there are wooden logs and we don't want that you the ground very close to my island. So then all the crew were from Bangladesh and everybody was crying. The vessel started lifting because she was taking water. The pumps were not operating. The chief engineer was there. He was not doing anything. As the master said, he was only there because he was having ticket. And just to complete the manning, he was there. That okay, you require chief here. This gentleman was there, but he was not knowing much of the things related to this particular vessel. Anyway, this was the master's. He said that every crew member they came to me, and they were all crying. They're telling we are only sir, and our parents are depending on sir, master, sir. Please abandon the vessel. They have abandoned. Look at the crew. Look at the feelings about the vessel. But then I said, 5 days she was floating. She was derelict. He said, yes, I know. I told him that you remember the story of that Kala Patthar or something like this, that the master Amitabh Bachchan, he was demoted because he has abandoned the vessel and the vessel was found somewhere floating near shore or something. I have forgotten the story. But then the quality of the people on board. So that is very, very important. So there are 4 sections in hull and machinery department when you are dealing in the insurance side. So hull and machinery losses, as we know, there are different type of hull and machine losses. There could be losses related to failure of engineering systems. There are losses which is related to failure of the navigational system. There are losses because of cargo problems on the vessel. So there are various losses. There could be loss of earnings, loss of profit. Naturally, if there is an accident, the vessel will be taken for the purpose of repairing. She is out of charter, she is out of freight, and there will be loss of earnings. And there, or sometimes if there is a three-fourth the collision liabilities or collision liabilities, there is every possibility that because of my mistake, I have created a liability on the owner of the vessel. So these are the type of losses, loss of profit and liabilities created. So what are things as a surveyor and as a claims person you should know? Condition and valuation surveys. So the valuation for the ocean going vessels are as per the DG shipping and the insurance company's norms. It is always done by the list of foreign valuers or brokers, which is the list is provided in the tariff manual, etc. The DG shipping is also having. But for the smaller vessels, the conditions and valuation survey is very, very important, because the older the fleet, the chances, I have seen a older vessel, when you know that they are susceptible for total losses, there is a the tendency to over insure the vessel. The damage surveys and hull machineries is another part. So you should know the exactly how to assess, how to look at the drawings, and how to find out how much steel is required, how to calculate the steel, and if it is related to any engine parts. These are very, very important. Warranty surveys. Many times the warranties are incorporated. For example, towing warranty. So you have to find out what is the bollard pull of the tug, and then the inspection of tug, inspection of tow, and then the towing plan, whether it is certified by classification society or not, and then actually whether the towing arrangements is as per the design given by classification society. I have seen many times the tug master will say, no, no, taking that bridle plate, it is very heavy. I don't have crew for lifting. I do not have any arrangement. So they will just pass a rope and try to tow the vessel on the rope. Investigations of losses. How to investigate. Understanding different types of the vessel. Because container vessel, tanker, the dry bulk, everybody is having some peculiar problem when it comes to an accident. So you should understand that the tanker will have some type of accident, the container vessel will have certain type of accidents. So you should understand the nature of that particular vessel, susceptibility to the accident. And then of course you should know how to carry out a failure analysis. The barrier analysis is one of the method of analysis. There could be a number of methods where you are acquainted, where you are comfortable. It can be any method of finding out analysis. The intention of analyzing the accident is to minimize the accident in the future. Now when it comes to the adjustment of loss as per terms condition of policy. So what are things you should know? First thing you should know, the Marine Insurance Act 1963, all sections. Then there is a institute time clauses, hulls, ITC hull and port risk. So clauses, it is a named peril policy. The perils are listed in the policy. Everything is not covered. The loss attributable to that particular peril which is covered, it is only covered under the policy. Then there are maritime frauds. You should know singleton, the importance of flag of the vessel, flag of convenience, blacklisted flag, the importance of the age of the vessel, the importance of classification society. So all these things we should know. The loss adjustment technique, how to adjust the loss. You write from the valuation, the validity, the exact cause, whether this cause is covered, allegation to cause. So there is a technique for adjustment of loss as per terms and condition of the policy. So surveyor should be acquainted with. Of course, this subject is not on loss adjustment of hull policy. Hull. Then you should know about the port documentation. You can combat with maritime fraud provided you know the port, custom, bank documents, etc. I have come across a couple of cases where they said that the vessel was lost to sea, but they have shown as if they have come to Mumbai. Afterwards, they have taken the insurance, and subsequently they show there was no insurance. Close proximity case. When I asked them that you give me the, he has given me bills of repairing of engine, why he came, etc. But he could never give me the dues paid to the port, the permission obtained for port for entering harbour and leaving harbour, for the circulating IGM, export IGM with the custom permission. All this mandatory document he could not provide. And then I realized that taking valuation in port for a selling vessel, it is not difficult because I just change a nameplate on top, and instead of say uh, Al Ahmadi, it will be Al Kabira. So change the name, and then there is nothing like a chassis number. No valuer will take dimension, because even if the actual vessel is there, it will not meet actually with the dimension. They are wooden vessel. They will change in the size slightly. So you should know about the various documents. And then finally, so you know about the losses, you know about the various methods of survey, you know about the methods of adjustment, and now you should know about the hull tariff. Why you should know? You should know, yes. As a surveyor also, you should know how the vessel is rated for the purpose of insurance, how hull premium is calculated. Then you should know what is the flag of convenience. What is the classification society? What is the classification warranty? What is the ISM warranty? What is the age of vessel, which is, after that you should not accept the risk. What is the age of vessel for a tanker, for a container carrier, for a general bulk, break bulk, fishing trawler? So all these things you should know when you are in an insurance, when you are as a cargo survey, the hull and machinery surveyor, or you are in the insurance department combating with uh, the losses. So 99% the hull and machinery surveyor, they are, at least as on date, they have some background from the ships and vessels. They understand the various aspects about the vessel. So whenever you do failure analysis, there could be many techniques available. You can always go for the barrier analysis. There are 5I analysis. There are various system of, you can say, the failure analysis. You can always do that. And then the all contents, basically, thank you very much. All contents of this video are only for general information or use. They do not constitute advice and should not be relied upon in making or refraining from making any decision in case of any omission or discrepancy. Information in the original records will be final and binding. It is also not guaranteed that information in this video is up to date and ultimate. I have prepared this presentation for education purpose to best of my knowledge and ability. Thank you very much. Try to understand that the investigation techniques are changing. When you do couple of investigation, you develop your own skill and method of investigation. Ultimately, the aim is to find out exactly what has gone wrong, and then uh, you will automatically develop. It is based on experience. It is based on definitely a knowledge, and it is based on how you conduct a investigation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.